Okay, today I'm going to be canning some applesauce, but it's going to have some strawberry and some pears in it. This is the fruit that I've got left, and I just want to get it all done up into one product. And strawberry and pear applesauce sounds like it's going to be pretty good. I've only got 3 pears, so it'll be mostly apples. What I'm going to do first is cut things up and put them over here in this pot and get them where they can be run through my Victorio food strainer. So I'll bring you right back. I got all my fruit cut up. I used the Fruit Fresh fruit protector. Oh, here it is. This on the apples and pears to keep them from browning so much. Sorry about the waving around. And next, I'm going to get this started cooking. Get it cooking some. It don't have to cook a lot. I just want the apples to be soft. The pears are already pretty mushy, so they're okay. And strawberries are, but I wanted them all to cook together a little bit. And I will add 1 cup of 100% apple juice to the bottom of the pan to prevent sticking. And after I run everything through my Victorio, which I still have to set up, I'll sweeten it to taste and see how I need to go from there. Applesauce is a very forgiving recipe. Pear sauce, strawberry sauce, all these high acid fruits can be made into a sauce, and they're very forgiving because it's high acid. And adding the apple juice adds another level of acidity, a little bit, and adds flavor. So let me bring you back when I get things going. I've got a cup of apple juice in the bottom of the pot. Every once in a while I'll come and stir it, and when the apples and pears are really soft, then I'll bring you back for putting it through the Victorio food strainer. I've got a little pan over there for the waste, which will be the peels and stuff, and a big pan for the applesauce. I always cut the seeds out of apples and pears because they're small and sometimes they get broken in the strainer, and I don't like those little bits of seeds in there, so I'll bring you back when I get started. Pears and strawberries are getting pretty soft, but the apples are still pretty firm, so I'm going to keep them going until the apples are also soft, because I want them to go right through that Victorio strainer without much effort. I'll have to let them cool a little bit. You don't want to put boiling hot stuff into your strainer. But anyway, and you cannot operate it. I don't know if anybody's... I probably said it. You have to have food, liquidy food, soft food, in here before you start turning the handle. Never operate it dry. Never. So I've probably said that before, but I thought maybe now was a good time for a reminder. Also, I failed to mention these pears that I had are just like Bartlett pears, maybe. Not Asian pears. Asian pears are low acid food, and they have their own special canning instructions. So these are just regular eaten pears that were already pretty soft. And this is one way not to have everything go to waste. I had to throw away quite a few strawberries. I was very sad about that, because they got moldy, and you don't want anything with mold on it. Never ever cook or can or eat things that are moldy, because that mold, even if you don't see it on the outside, it's got its little tendrils are through the food. So anyway, I'll bring you back when this is ready to put into the strainer. Okay, everything is pretty soft. The apples have gotten pretty soft now. Soft enough to go through the food strainer. Now I'm going to let these cool, because I don't want it to be screaming hot going in there, but I'm hoping that this pink color really shows up in the applesauce, because that's going to be pretty if it does. And y'all, it smells really good in here right now. Apples, strawberries, and pears cooking. Oh, it smells so good. So I'll bring you back when it's cooled down and I'm ready to put it through the strainer. Okay, I guess it's cooled down enough. It seems like it's still steaming a little bit, but it's not too bad. And I already put some into the hopper. Make sure it gets some juice going in there too. So let me step to this other side and I'll get it going. Okay, let me start turning this handle. It's not all that hard to turn once you've got food in there that's wet. Like I said, nothing dry. You don't ever turn it when there's no food in there. I gotta find there it is. The plunger thing. Okay. As you can see, it's, whoops, sorry, turning pretty easy. Let me get the plunger over here. I forgot it. Plunger or pusher or whatever you call it. Get it in there. And push the food down. And keep going. There it comes. You see some of the strawberry seeds are coming through. That's why you can't use this screen for getting rid of small seeds. This is a tomato and apple screen. You can get a berry screen. I think it has a finer mesh. And that's what I'm hoping to get before too much longer. You see it there? Coming out. I'll probably run it all through twice. But there it comes. Pink applesauce. So I'll bring you back when I get things done. Okay. When I'm done using the food mill, the food strainer, I take a rubber spatula or a silicone spatula, scrape down the screen really well. Get every bit of that off of there. What's going to be left inside in the spiral is going to be just the skins. So I'm not going to worry about those. Just want to get everything out. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. Well, I'll take this off. Take off this. Dump that stuff out of there. You can see there's only not much in this. It's really dry. So I'll take this off. Dump that. Then I'll get this off and put it straight into the sink full of water. Trust me, never ever leave that to dry because you will not, it'll take you a really long time to get it really clean. So always drop it immediately into water so that it can be soaking everything off of it. So let me bring you back when I get it back all back in the pan. I'm going to, it's pretty tight, but I want it just a little bit tighter. Because I want it to pile up when I put a spoon in it without any liquid running around it. Hold on there. Okay, let me show you what I mean. I want it to really pile up and not be flat. I want it to just really mound up in the spoon. And it's not quite doing that yet. Cook it a few more minutes. It's pretty thick. Sorry about that. But I'm going to cook it for a few more minutes. I've already got my jars in my steam canner over here. I'm sure way too many jars, but anyway, I've got my jars heating up. I've got my lids and the rings washed, set aside, ready to use. And so I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Okay, it's about ready. See, it's pretty thick. It's not jam, so it's not going to be spreadable. But it's doing pretty good. I added about 3/4 of a cup of the pure cane sugar. Because it was pretty tart. Strawberries, after they're cooked, seem to be really, really tart. And so do apples, in my opinion. But I did add sugar to it. And I've got it just right. So let me get it really good and hot, up to a boil. And then I'll start putting it in jars. Okay, this I'm ready to put it in the jars. Got my jars hot. Goes up to 1/2 inch headspace. Check that. Okay, that's about right. I'm going to stir it around a little bit. Apples have a lot of air in them. So stir that around a little bit. Turn that down over here so I don't lose all my water. Wipe the rim with a wet paper towel. Spin the ring on. Put it on the towel. There you go. Till it starts to turn. Over into the canner and get another jar out. So I'll bring you back when I've got them all filled. Okay, I've got my jars in there. I took my empties out. You can see I had 3 pints and 2 1/2 pints too many. So, got 5 pint jars in here, which I think is pretty good. Anyway, I'll bring the temperature indicator on here up to the dark green area over there on the right, and then set my timer for 20 minutes. Okay, it's over the green area, so I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. Okay, so the time is up. The 20 minutes is up. And I'll set my timer for 5 more minutes to let everything kind of calm down. So now I'm ready to take the jars out of the canner. Ooh, what's this? And I guess you could hear them popping. There. Nice pink strawberry apple pear sauce. Five jars of it. Now this is a small batch. I tell ya, small batches add up, y'all. You don't have to do some all day, all weekend canning to have food on your shelves for later. Delicious home canned food. All you have to do is a few jars at a time, if that's all you want to do. If that's all the produce you've got. Just use a few jars at a time, and you're on your way. With water bath canning or steam canning, I use a steam canner because way less water. It only takes about 2.5 quarts of water in there. Comes up to heat real fast. Don't have to worry about boiling a big pot of water. Anyway, with water bath canning like this, if you only have 1 jar of applesauce to can, you can do it. You can do just 1. Now, if you're pressure canning, you'll need 4 pints or 2 quarts, and your pressure canner has something to do with thermodynamics and all that. Hard to understand, so I'm not even going to try to explain it. Because I don't fully understand it. But they do say 2 quarts, 4 pints, or the equivalent, 8 1/2 pints. But in a water bath or steam canner, you can do as little as 1 jar. So you can get your pantry built up. Okay, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate every one of my viewers. Y'all are great. Have a good night.